A student vanished from her own home in the dead of night. No struggle, no warning, no trace. Police rushed in, hoping to find answers. But the deeper they searched, the darker the truth became. Piece by piece, investigators uncovered a story so tragic and senseless, it would shock the entire nation. Eve Carson was born on November 19, 1985, in Athens, Georgia. And from the very beginning, she stood out, focused, driven, exceptionally gifted. In high school, her accomplishments seemed endless. She served as vice president of the student council, volunteered at a nursing home and a shelter for abused teens, worked as a congressional page, and even assisted in stem cell research, all before graduating. Eve didn't just excel. She surpassed every expectation. She went on to attend the University of North Carolina, double majoring in political science and biology. Her academic excellence earned her a prestigious scholarship, and she quickly became one of the most respected student leaders on campus. Yet she never stopped giving back. She taught science to elementary school students, volunteered internationally, traveled to Ecuador, Cuba, and Egypt for medical and research work. Eve wasn't just outstanding. She was extraordinary, a young woman with a future so bright it seemed untouchable. By early 2008, Eve was 22 years old, in her final year of college, with a job already secured after graduation. She lived off campus with close friends. On the night of March 5th, around 1:30 a.m., her roommates invited her to a party. Eve declined. She chose to stay home and study. When her friends returned at about 4:30 that morning, something immediately felt wrong. The front door was wide open. The lights were still on. And Eve, along with her car, was gone. It made no sense. Eve wasn't impulsive. She wouldn't leave in the middle of the night without telling anyone. They called her phone. No answer. They waited, hoping she'd return. She never did. By the next day, her friends reported her missing. And that's when detectives revealed something chilling. Earlier that morning, police had already found the body of a young woman. Her identity was unknown. When Eve's friend was shown the photo, one look was enough. It was Eve. Around 5 a.m., just minutes after she disappeared, a woman living about a mile away heard gunshots followed by a scream. When officers arrived, they found Eve lying on the ground. No phone, no ID, nothing linking her back home. She had been shot multiple times. Detectives began reconstructing her final hours. At 1:30 a.m., Eve was home studying. At 3:30 a.m., her computer was still active. By 5 a.m., she was dead miles away. Her car was missing. Her wallet and credit cards were gone. This wasn't random. This was robbery and something far worse. Eve's phone pinged one last time near a highway, then went silent forever, likely discarded in nearby woods. Then came the first major break. Police located Eve's abandoned car just a few miles away and sent it in for forensic testing. At the same time, bank records revealed something alarming. Just 18 minutes after Eve last used her computer, $700 was withdrawn from her account at an ATM across town. Security footage showed a man driving Eve's car while using her card. Another person appeared to be in the back seat, possibly Eve herself, but the footage was too grainy to confirm. Over the next 2 days, her car was used at multiple ATMs, many without cameras. Then, on March 7th, another breakthrough. A convenience store ATM captured a clear image of a second suspect attempting to use Eve's card. This wasn't the same man as before. It was now clear more than one person was involved. Police released both images to the public. Tips flooded in, but none led anywhere until March 12th. An anonymous caller identified the second suspect. His name was Dario Atwater. He was 21 years old. When detectives looked into his background, the picture was disturbing. At just 21, Dario already had a long criminal history, robberies, assaults, drug charges, and had repeatedly been released early. He was even scheduled to appear in court 2 days after Eve's murder for carrying a handgun while on probation. Surveillance footage confirmed the match. Police had their suspect. During questioning, Dario denied any involvement, but he was taken into custody. Soon after, investigators uncovered his connection to a 17-year-old named Lawrence Lovett, another known offender. His mugshot matched the man seen driving Eve's car in the earlier footage. Lawrence resisted arrest, barricading himself inside his home and forcing a SWAT response. Once apprehended, he also denied everything. Both were charged and held. As investigators dug deeper, cell tower data placed both suspects in Eve's neighborhood that night. Despite them living in a different city, the truth became horrifyingly clear. Eve wasn't targeted. She was chosen at random. Two men looking for money crossed paths with a young woman whose life represented everything they would never have. Investigators believe they broke into her home, forced her into her own car, drove her to multiple ATMs, and once they reached the withdrawal limit, they took her to a deserted area. There, they ended her life. Prosecutors sought the death penalty for Diario, but because Lawrence was a minor, he could only face life imprisonment. To secure a conviction, prosecutors offered Diario a deal. If he confessed, the death penalty would be taken off the table. He accepted. His confession revealed the full horror. They went out that night planning to rob someone. They saw Eve through her window. They broke in with guns drawn. They forced her into her car. They made her withdraw money. And through it all, Eve begged for her life. She promised not to tell. She just wanted to go home. They showed no mercy. Before they killed her, Eve made one final request. She asked them to pray with her. Moments later, she was gone. In April 2010, Diario Atwater was sentenced to life plus 30 years. In court, he apologized to Eve's parents, admitting he deserved the sentence. Lawrence refused to plead guilty. He went to trial in December 2011 and was sentenced to life in prison. Though his sentence was briefly overturned due to changes in juvenile sentencing laws, he was retried, showing little remorse, and again sentenced to life. He was also suspected in another murder months before Eve's death, though charges were dropped due to insufficient evidence. Eve Carson's death sparked outrage and change. North Carolina passed tougher laws targeting violent and gang-related crimes, inspired directly by her case. At her university, a scholarship was created in her name, along with a memorial garden honoring her life. In 2009, a close friend of Eve's became a finalist on American Idol. On stage, he said her death gave him the courage to chase his dreams, courage he believed Eve would have wanted for everyone. Eve Carson was only 22 years old. Her life was full of promise. Her future was limitless, and her story is one that should never be forgotten. If this case stayed with you, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. We share true crime stories daily. Until next time, stay sharp, stay vigilant, and be sure to watch the next case. It may be even more shocking than the one you just finished.